Let me ask you something real. If I told you that just 1 hour, 16 minutes could flip your entire life upside down in the best way possible, would you even believe me? Most people won't. Most people laugh at the idea because they've been conditioned to think greatness only comes from magic, luck, or 20-hour grind sessions. But the truth? Your transformation doesn't start with a miracle. It starts with 1 hour. 1 hour where you stop outsourcing your life to distractions. 1 hour where you stop watching other people win and finally choose to invest in your own rise. The problem isn't that people don't have time. It's that they don't have focus. They're busy, but they're not growing. They're moving, but they're not improving. They scroll, they react, they repeat the same dead routines, and then they wonder why nothing changes. But if you're listening right now, it's because something in you is different. You're hungry. You're searching. You feel that pull inside your chest, that voice telling you there's more in you, more for you, more waiting if you just make a decision. And that decision starts with the first hour of your day. Because how you begin determines how you finish. Most people wake up and hand their power away before their feet even hit the floor. They reach for the phone. They let the world set their mood, their thoughts, their pace. They allow chaos to choose their direction. But the ones who change their lives, they take control. They claim that first hour like it's gold. They build their mind before the world can break it. They build their discipline before the distractions can steal it. They build themselves before they step out into the noise. 1 hour of focus. 1 hour of intention. 1 hour where you decide that you are done living on autopilot. That's the hour that separates the dreamers from the doers, the talkers from the transformers, the lost from the leaders. You don't need a new year. You don't need a lucky break. You don't need permission. You need 1 hour. 1 hour consistently given to your growth, your goals, your greatness. This is the hour that rewrites your habits, reshapes your confidence, restructures your identity. This is the hour where you stop surviving and start building. And if you can win that hour, you can win your day. Win enough days, you can win your life. So today, we start with that hour. The hour that will change everything. Ready? Because now we rise. The biggest lie people believe is that transformation requires something dramatic, something massive, something almost impossible. They think they need a new job, a new environment, a new opportunity, or a new version of themselves that magically appears. But the truth is far simpler and far more uncomfortable. Change begins with 1 hour of your day. Just one. 1 hour where you stop reacting to life and start taking control of it. 1 hour where you pour into yourself instead of pouring into distractions. 1 hour where you stop being busy and start being purposeful. And that simple shift, that tiny slice of your day, becomes the catalyst for everything you say you want: success, confidence, clarity, discipline, and momentum. But the reason most people never experience this power is because they underestimate it. They think 60 minutes can't matter. They think small steps don't make a difference. They think transformation must be loud, dramatic, and noticeable. They don't see that the biggest breakthroughs are born in the smallest decisions repeated consistently. The first hour is not just time, it's leverage. It's the only part of the day that truly belongs to you before the world wakes up and starts making demands. If you don't claim it, someone else will. Your phone will take it. Social media will take it. Stress, noise, chaos, they'll all take it because they always take what you don't guard. But the moment you decide that the first hour is yours, everything changes. Your mind shifts from reactive to proactive. Instead of waking up and inheriting the mood of the world, you build your own. Instead of starting with what everyone else wants from you, you start by giving yourself what you need. And when you begin your day by choosing yourself, you reshape the entire trajectory of your life. Most people lose the first hour without even realizing it. They're awake, but they're not present. They open their eyes and immediately hand their attention over to the world. They scroll, they check, they compare, they react, they absorb negativity before their feet even hit the floor. And then they wonder why the day feels heavy, why their mind feels cluttered, why their energy feels drained. It's because the first hour, the most powerful hour, was given away for free. When you waste that hour, you spend the rest of the day trying to catch up. But when you own it, you carry a different kind of authority into everything you do. You walk differently, you think differently, you respond differently. You move with intention instead of impulse. Setting aside 1 hour a day builds identity long before it builds results. It teaches you who you are and what you value. It forces you to confront your excuses, your habits, and your priorities. It's uncomfortable, yes, but that discomfort is exactly what shapes discipline. And discipline is the foundation of every transformation. 1 hour of reading, planning, training, learning, meditating, building, or creating doesn't immediately change your world, but it changes you, and eventually you change your world. It's not the hour itself that's magical. It's who you become in the process of honoring it. You become someone who follows through, someone who chooses growth over entertainment, someone who invests instead of escapes, someone who values their future more than their comfort. And once that shift happens, there's no version of you that remains average. This hour becomes your anchor. Your mind becomes clearer, your energy becomes stronger, your goals become visible, your actions become aligned. You stop drifting and start directing your life with intention. You start seeing opportunities you used to miss. You start believing in possibilities you used to doubt. You start feeling momentum where you once felt stuck. That first hour becomes a quiet declaration to the universe that you are no longer waiting for permission, luck, or motivation. You are choosing to build the life you want, one disciplined hour at a time. People underestimate what consistency does in secrecy. They underestimate what happens when you show up every day before the world distracts you. They underestimate how different life feels when you start your morning by strengthening your mind instead of weakening it. 1 hour a day is not the sacrifice, it's the shortcut. It's the difference between wandering and winning, between living accidentally and living intentionally, between surviving and rising. And when you master that first hour, you don't just change your schedule, you change your identity, your habits, your mindset, and ultimately, your entire life. Most people go through life reacting, not creating. They move from task to task, crisis to crisis, notification to notification, never stopping long enough to realize that their energy, their time, and their attention are being pulled in 100 directions that have nothing to do with their purpose. The world is loud, demanding, and relentless. And if you don't guard your hour with intention, the noise will consume it before you even know it's gone. That 1 hour you set aside for yourself, your growth, your peace, your discipline is more valuable than most people realize, and that is exactly why it must be protected like treasure. If you don't defend it, life will intrude, people will intrude, distractions will intrude. And what begins as a single interruption quickly becomes a broken habit, and a broken habit becomes a broken direction. Guarding the hour means declaring that not everything deserves access to your mind first thing in the morning. It means recognizing that your focus is a currency, and that currency must be spent on your future, not wasted on noise. Every message, every video, every headline, every distraction is designed to steal your attention. And once your attention is gone, your day becomes reactive instead of intentional. You move from notification to notification like a pinball, bouncing between other people's priorities instead of building your own. But when you guard that hour, you create a boundary, a line that the world cannot cross. And those boundaries Transform your life, because true growth requires uninterrupted space. It requires stillness, clarity, and the ability to lock in without the world tugging at your sleeve. But let me tell you the truth most people never admit. Guarding the hour isn't hard because of the outside world. It's hard because of the inside world. Your own mind will fight you more than anything else. Habits you've built over years, checking your phone, scrolling the moment you wake up, jumping into emails, worrying about problems, opening the door to stress won't disappear overnight. That hour becomes a battlefield between who you are and who you're becoming. Your old self wants comfort, routine, and stimulation. Your new self wants structure, discipline, and intention. Guarding the hour is choosing the new self, even when the old self screams the loudest. People often underestimate how many forces are working silently to steal their time. A friend calling early, a message notification, a family request, a work obligation that just can't wait. But here's the truth. It can wait. Almost everything can wait. What cannot wait is your growth. What cannot wait is your transformation. Because every day you forfeit that hour, you lose a piece of momentum. And momentum is the fuel that carries you from where you are to where you want to be. When you guard that hour, you send a message to yourself that you are a priority. And when you begin to treat yourself as a priority, your life shifts into alignment. That guarded hour becomes sacred because it's the only time when you get to operate without interference. It's the only time when you can think clearly, move intentionally, and build without noise. This is where goals get defined. This is where discipline gets sharpened. This is where confidence is born. This is where vision grows. You cannot build a powerful life with a distracted mind, and you cannot build a disciplined identity inside a chaotic environment. Guarding the hour gives you the mental space needed to focus deeply and consistently. And deep focus is what leads to breakthroughs. The hour is also fragile. It doesn't take much to break it. 5 minutes of distraction can turn into 50. One glance at a notification can spiral into a half hour of scrolling. One conversation can interrupt the flow you were trying to build. That's why the protection of that hour must be firm, non-negotiable. You treat it like a meeting with your future self, and you don't cancel on that version of you ever. When people know you guard that hour, when you show yourself you guard that hour, the world begins to adjust around your discipline instead of the other way around. Over time, guarding that hour teaches you something even more valuable than productivity. It teaches you self-respect. It teaches you that your goals, your mind, your peace, and your growth matter enough to protect. When you defend that time, you're not just holding onto a routine, you're holding onto your future. And slowly, that future begins to take shape. Not in giant leaps, but in steady, intentional steps. That 1 hour becomes the quiet engine behind everything you accomplish. The unseen commitment that strengthens every part of your life. And the more fiercely you guard it, the more dramatically your life begins to shift. There's a moment in your journey where excuses lose their power and action becomes the only language your future understands. That moment is the third key point: using your hour to build momentum. Momentum is one of the most underrated forces in personal growth because it doesn't announce itself with fireworks. It doesn't show up dramatically. It builds quietly, steadily, through small daily actions that most people overlook. But once momentum begins to move in your favor, it becomes almost impossible to stop. 1 hour a day is not about intensity. It's about consistency. It's about saying to yourself, I'm going to show up today, no matter what, and I'm going to do something that moves me forward. And when you repeat that choice every day, you create motion, positive, powerful. Motion that begins to shape your identity and your destiny. The problem most people face isn't lack of ambition. It's inconsistency. They start strong, full of energy, and then life gets noisy. Emotions shift, motivation fades. Challenges appear, And because they were relying on feeling instead of discipline, they lose momentum before they even realize what happened. But when you dedicate 1 hour every single day to your growth, whether you feel like it or not, you anchor your progress in discipline rather than emotion. You prove to yourself that you don't need perfect circumstances. You don't need motivation. You just need the willingness to take one step. And here's the truth. One step taken consistently is more powerful than 50 steps taken randomly. Momentum is built in the moments when no one is watching. In the quiet early mornings. In the peaceful, focused minutes when the world hasn't started calling your name yet. During that hour, you get to move without pressure, without noise, without comparison. You get to build at your pace with your intention for your life. And every time you use that hour to read, plan, train, learn, reflect, or create, you add another brick to the foundation of your future. You begin to shift from trying to improve your life to becoming the kind of person who naturally improves their life. That's what momentum does. It changes your identity long before it changes your results. And once that identity shift begins, something incredible happens. You stop negotiating with your goals. You stop arguing with your discipline. You stop stopping. You become the kind of person who moves forward automatically because momentum has rewired what you expect from yourself. When you string days together, when you link progress hour by hour, the work gets easier, not because the tasks change, but because you change. You develop belief, confidence, and clarity. You begin to trust yourself again. Every repeated action sends a message to your subconscious. We follow through. We finish what we start. We show up. And that internal message becomes the fuel that keeps you going, even on the days when everything seems heavy. Momentum also protects you. Most people fall off track because stopping creates friction. Restarting is the hardest part of any journey. When you lose momentum, you lose rhythm, focus, urgency, and connection with your goals. But when you use 1 hour daily, you eliminate the restart cycle. You never return to zero. Even on the tough days, even when your energy is low or your schedule is full, that hour keeps you tethered to your purpose. It keeps you aligned. It keeps you moving. Forward is forward, no matter the speed. And the beauty of momentum is that it compounds. What starts as small progress eventually becomes undeniable growth. You begin to notice changes in your habits, your thinking, your discipline, your results. Tasks that once felt heavy become natural. Things that intimidated you become manageable. You see challenges differently because momentum has given you strength. Opportunities start to appear because opportunities always reveal themselves too. People who are already moving. You don't wait for life to shift. Your momentum forces life to shift around you. Using your hour to build momentum is about refusing to let a single day drift by without contributing to the future you want. It's about recognizing that your life doesn't change through occasional effort, it changes through daily commitment. Momentum is the quiet power behind every successful transformation. It doesn't shout, but it moves mountains. It doesn't rush, but it never stops. And when you commit to giving yourself one intentional hour every single day, you ignite a force that pushes you, carries you, and eventually elevates you into a version of yourself you didn't even know was possible. There comes a point in your growth where you have to understand that the world is not going to protect that hour for you. That is your job, your responsibility. Because the fourth key point is simple but life-changing. Guard the hour like treasure. Too many people start strong but lose their rhythm because they allow everything and everyone to invade the one space that was supposed to be sacred. The truth is, your environment will test you. The people around you will test you. Life itself will test you. And if you don't guard that hour with focus and firmness, distractions will swallow it whole. That 1 hour you promised yourself will get traded for conversations that don't matter, tasks that don't matter, notifications that don't matter, and opinions that have nothing to do with your purpose or your future. You must understand that your growth threatens some people. Your consistency makes others uncomfortable. The moment you start choosing discipline over laziness, clarity over entertainment, and purpose over comfort, certain people will try intentionally or unintentionally to pull you back into the version of yourself they are familiar with. Not because they are bad people, but because your progress forces them to confront their own lack of action. And the fastest way to pull you back is to distract you. That's why you must guard your hour. It's the one protected space where you build the life they don't see yet. It's the time where you shape thoughts they've never heard you speak. It's where you become someone you haven't fully revealed to the world. You owe it to yourself to protect that. Guarding your hour means drawing hard lines. It means saying no without guilt. It means turning off your phone, silencing your notifications, stepping away from noise, and giving your mind permission to breathe. You have to create boundaries that are non-negotiable. Because if your hour is optional, so is your transformation. Many people think they lose their dreams because they failed. But the truth is, they lose their dreams because they were interrupted. They let the world pull them in 100 different directions until they had nothing left for themselves. That's why this hour becomes a shield, a barrier between you and the chaos that wants to claim your attention. And you have to be intentional with this protection. Guarding your hour means you respect yourself enough to prioritize yourself. You believe your growth matters. You believe your future matters. You believe that you are worth the discipline it takes to set time aside and not let anyone steal it. If someone tried to take money out of your pocket, you'd fight back. But every day, people take minutes, take focus, take your emotional energy, and you don't even notice the theft. Time is more valuable than money because you can always make more money, but you will never get back what you wasted. Guarding your hour is you choosing to stop letting life rob you quietly, and the more you guard it, the more others will begin to respect it. People adapt to the standards you set. If you act like your growth matters, they will treat it like it matters. If you treat your hour casually, they will feel entitled to interrupt it. You teach the world how to treat your time by how seriously you treat it yourself. And when people start seeing that you are disciplined, focused, and consistent, they stop trying to pull you off track. They begin to understand that this hour is not just part of your routine, it is part of who you are becoming. Guarding your hour also strengthens your identity. Each time you protect that space, you reinforce a message to yourself. I am someone who chooses growth. I am someone who commits. I am someone who honors my goals. That message builds confidence. It builds certainty. It builds self-respect. And self-respect is the strongest fuel for discipline. When you respect yourself, you stop negotiating with your excuses. You stop compromising with your old habits. You stop letting your past version run your present decisions. The world will always try to claim pieces of you. It will always demand your attention, your energy, your presence. But when you guard your hour, you reclaim yourself. You take back control. You create a space where your dreams can breathe, where your mind can reset, and where your future can be built without interruption. That hour becomes the anchor that keeps you grounded even when the rest of your day becomes chaotic. And the more you protect it, the more powerful it becomes. The fifth key point is simple, yet brutally misunderstood. Consistency beats intensity. Most people want to transform their lives overnight. They want massive change in a single week, dramatic progress in a single month, breakthroughs without the breakdowns, elevation without repetition. But true change doesn't come from rare moments of explosive effort. It comes from the slow, steady, unglamorous work you put in every single day, especially inside that 1 hour. That hour becomes your training ground, your proving ground, your workshop. Because when you show up consistently, even when you don't feel like it, you are building a version of yourself that becomes impossible to break. Consistency is not about perfection, It's about refusal. Refusal to quit. Refusal to negotiate. Refusal to fall back into the habits that kept you stuck. When you commit to 1 hour a day, you remove the pressure of trying to do everything at once, and instead, you give yourself a sustainable path to grow. Too many people think they need to overhaul their entire life in a single sweep. But the truth is that small daily improvements compound. 1 hour of reading adds up. 1 hour of learning adds up. 1 hour of working on your craft adds up. 1 hour of silence and clarity adds up. 1 hour of discipline becomes a stack of hours, a stack of days, a stack of wins. And before you even realize it, your life begins to shift. Consistency also builds identity. Every time you show up for that hour, you reinforce one powerful sentence within yourself: I am someone who follows through. And that sentence begins to eliminate doubt, hesitation, fear, and the identity OVO. When you only act based on emotion, you become unpredictable, unreliable, unstable. But when you act based on commitment, you become dependable, disciplined, and unstoppable. Emotion is temporary, but consistency is identity. And identity shapes destiny. The people who fail aren't the people who are incapable. They're the ones who stop. The ones who let one bad day become a bad week. The ones who let one missed hour turn into a missed month. The ones who let one slip-up convince them that they aren't built for greatness. But consistency is forgiving. It doesn't demand perfection. It only demands return. And if you return daily, even with small steps, you are still moving forward. While everyone else waits for the perfect moment that will never come, consistency also eliminates overwhelm. When you take on too much at once, your mind collapses under the weight of expectations. But 1 hour is manageable. 1 hour is doable. 1 hour is digestible. 1 hour is enough to create traction without burning out. And when your mind knows the task is manageable, it stops resisting. It stops negotiating. It stops fighting the process. You begin to show up not because it's easy, but because it's part of who you are now. And let's be honest, consistency is where real confidence comes from. Not from motivation, not from hype, not from temporary excitement. Confidence comes from proving to yourself that you can do the work even when the feeling is gone. When you know you show up day after day, you stop doubting your ability to succeed. You stop questioning whether you're capable. Your self-belief becomes rooted, not borrowed. Confidence fades. Rooted confidence strengthens. Consistency also strengthens discipline across your entire life. When you master 1 hour, you gain power all 24. You become more intentional with your time. You become more aware of your energy. You stop wasting hours on things that drain you and begin investing hours in things that grow you. The discipline from that 1 hour leaks into your decisions, your habits, your environment, and your standards. Suddenly, you're not just doing the hour, you're becoming the person who deserves the results that hour creates. But the greatest reward of consistency is transformation. Not the kind you see instantly, but the kind you wake up one day and realize. You think differently, you move differently, you speak differently, you carry yourself differently. You stopped waiting for life to change and started changing yourself. And people around you notice. Opportunities notice. Your future notices. That 1 hour, repeated daily, becomes the quiet force that shifts your destiny. It becomes the foundation on which you build discipline, self-respect, confidence, clarity, and momentum. And the truth is, most people won't do it. Not because they can't, but because they won't commit. But you, if you choose consistency, you separate yourself from mediocrity. You break cycles. You build habits that build your future. And you give yourself the chance to become someone your past self wouldn't even recognize. That transformation is waiting. Not in a week, not in a year, but in what you do today. And what you choose again tomorrow. and what you commit to every single day after that. Consistency is the bridge between your potential and your reality. And 1 hour a day is how you cross it.